Hello. I've been streaming for 5 minutes and I forgot to press the streaming button. Typical me shit. Alright, don't worry, nothing's happened. So, I walked off in the opposite direction. I found a picture of a couple in some bro's office, and now I'm here. There you go. You've missed nothing. I I put 10 cents into this payphone machine device and it called Video Revachol. I was hoping it was going to call my house, but it did not.
No. Sir, I don't know. It's a video rental. Maybe you rent videos here.
Yeah. That's kind of weird.
Maybe you called to extend your rental period? Do you need to extend your rental period? Let me fire up the machine. Dubois.
Dubois.
Dubois. Here we are. You haven't rented anything in 5 years, but you still have a copy of Blue Ocean Hell from November '46. Whoa, not a fun film, that one. It's not an easy watch. After the death of his daughter and subsequent divorce, Ziemsk immigrant Egidius Wojcik tries to come to terms with the onset of dementia.
Interesting.
No wonder no one's been missing it. Still, it would be great if you could return it to us. We're on the corner of Voyager and Maine.
Okay.
The call is terminated by the other party. You're left with the discomforting sound of the disconnect tone.
It is discomforting. Alright, so we got nothing out of that. Fantastic. Let's see. Dewey typewriter. Every worker equals member of the board, written at the top of the flyers. At the bottom, the union logo and demand democracy. A Dewey Decimal typewriter. That's what I thought. A standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot looks almost sentient. Hi, Jay. What's up? What'd you have for din din? Yeah, I'm glad I decided
glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
to. Ooh. Oatmeal for dinner. Yum.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
That does sound like a low-effort dinner.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara, and the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol. Kuron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold. It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
I mean, fucking problem.
Hundreds of documents containing and the same material.
I
You
see.
already went through all of these. Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer. It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht,
What?
water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners.
I read that as more bananas.
All items on the list have been crossed out and the note itself is crumpled.
One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
Free experience.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Right? I agree.
What is so special about this borscht? Code for drugs? Booze? Blood?
Oh, electrochemistry.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling ball. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself,
Special
the drawer, slides shut
whirling
smoothly.
Borscht. I'll have to see if we can find that. What's this? book La Fumée. I don't speak French. Let's see. What's over here? Stuff to sell. I love stuff to sell. Oh, good. Because we was out. Oh, never mind. I'm out of healing things. That's not good. If fume comes from fumus, it probably means smoke. Oh, fun fact. I do not know. +1 visual calculus, -1 drama. Not my drama. Don't take away my drama. Ask Renee about the photo. I would if I remembered who Renee was. Items. Okay. Oh, I can interact with this.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Friesel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover. Because Friesel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see. To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections. International developments, Kunst und Kultur,
That's German.
and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note. Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, Du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turn to smoke under communism.
Seems like you might have been right, Jay.
But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenai. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bear wrestling. Flip back to that. It seems to be part of a new public fitness initiative in the People's Republic of Samara, SRV, devised and promoted by none other than President Kanajinsky himself.
Jay, you gonna be wrestling bears for fitness anytime soon?
According to this extremely credulous account, Uncle Sport, as he's affectionately known to his people, has recently decreed bear wrestling the national sport of the SRV. Based on the description in this article, he appears to be an extremely competent and democratically elected president.
Interesting.
Sapormat Sport Kanajinsky is well into his 3rd decade as president of the SRV. Outside Samara, he's known for 3 things: brutal repression of internal dissent, monumental corruption, and a near pathological obsession with physical fitness.
Fantastic. Yeah, Samara's almost certainly not Russia.
It's quite straightforward. A standard match features 1 man, or in some cases woman, against 1 bear. 2 competitors, 1 ring, 5 rounds, or until incapacitation.
Oof. I I would not be participating in bear wrestling anytime soon.
According to the SRV's Ministry of Information, the program has been a tremendous success. Public support stands at 87%,
Yeah.
and youth obesity and alcoholism rates are down 12% and 7% respectively.
Huh. I wonder how many of the dissenters are being eaten by bears.
This is the SRV we're talking about. If you think those are the real numbers, there's probably a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in Lachette.
There's a guy who wants to sell you a bridge in Spyro. I love Spyro.
What are you, a statistician? Did the moral intern send you on a fact-finding mission? This is the SRV party line, comrade.
The Samaran People's Republic? No, I should expect not. Why do you ask? They're quite the spectacle, as I understand. I've heard they make the people in the front rows wear plastic sheets.
Oh, that's fucking gross.
On account of the blood, you see.
Yes, Kim. Yes, that makes sense.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS.
CS, you say? Could it be Cindy? Walder? I figured it was some kind of font. I don't know.
The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Gotcha. Why they decided to title this one section? Oh, that makes sense. So definitely not German.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
It's definitely Cindy.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colourful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tournée.
Tip Top Tournée. TTT. Frittitititi.
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes.
Definitely not NASCAR.
So, all of it, basically. Oddly enough, this article has two bylines, Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Booka, huh? And Walder, I guess. Must be books in Walder.
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms. More than that, they're likely anagrams.
I love a good anagram.
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tournée becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a fritter.
Frittata.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest.
Fantastic.
At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real racers that you're really watching for.
Nah.
Sure, you think that, but subconsciously, it's the visions of brand names being engulfed in flames that you crave.
Strong argument.
That's because you haven't been reading critically. But don't worry. The whole point of these sorts of articles is to let someone else read critically for you.
Oh, come on. Can this article read your mind? A certain kind of young man reads 1 or 2 books and suddenly thinks he understands the secret structures of reality. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you. Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dock workers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Cape Side apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Charging rent just to live somewhere is pretty outrageous.
The writer G. Martin remarks dryly that capitalists love wealth redistribution, so long as it's only redistributed upward. It's true, the rentiers have been bleeding you dry. You really ought to find your own place one of these days. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Okay. Good read. We have these glasses. I just want to look at them. A bit dry. I like my logic though. Off we go. Oh! Where are we wearing our blue coat? +1 suggestion versus +1 esprit de corps and shivers. Well, actually. Yeah. Let's go with this. Alright. We's leaving. Oh, there's a door actually. Where does it go? Let's find out. Oh. Ooh. Okay, good. Let's talk to the guy then. First order of business, bodies.
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go.
Cállate.
So it was. You surmounted the harbor wall in a display of athletic prowess to reach my superior. Then had him give me an order. I salute your cunning, and I will remove the body from the tree with my bare hands.
You could do with your butt for all I care.
You're so noble, Measurehead.
There's a but.
But while I am gone, someone must stand guard on the bridge. That someone needs to be you. Both of you.
Just realized I have not saved in a while.
This is the uncomfortable result of not taking it on ourselves. I can live with a compromise.
Listen to your little friend. He is wise in his childlike way. His mysterious race may yet prove fierce competition to my heroic haplogroup.
Okay. Alright then.
Babe, see that they stay here the whole time.
Can't she stay here? She's already gonna be here. Can't she do it?
The woman's gaze follows Measurehead as he leaves.
So, you guys are like cops or something? Have you ever thought that maybe things should go to shit? I'm Katya, by the way.
You hear that? That sound. He's breaking something.
Yeah, Jean-Luc must be really tearing it up over there. I wish I could see it.
Look at you! RCM rent-a-cops! Guarding that bridge like Everett's lapdogs! Is this where it's at now? The RCM is for sale!
And who are you? What is your business here? Why are your clothes 4 sizes too small for you?
I think he got the body count.
A shrill laughter interrupts you, echoing across Martinez. It's Kuno.
Fucking Kuno.
Then, the man turns to look behind him at the behemoth appearing around the corner, approaching him, walking past him.
He's a big boy.
The corpse has been removed from the tree. Stand down and congratulate yourself. You have sided with Ray's victory today.
Cállate.
And what you had to do was to become a Union man for all to see.
Pavlich. Good job on your racism. Hey, I'm not an advanced racist. At least there's that. I'm just a basic racist.
How'd you like our harbor?
You've been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right. You talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing?
Yeah.
What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to such a thing? Unless they were pushed, of course. Your dead guy was an enemy combatant.
What?
He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts.
I see.
I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search. Should I... A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open?
I don't know.
Oh, say no more. I got you. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say.
What the heck does this one mean? I heard something about a weasel and it didn't sound like a local polar weasel, if you know what I mean. Wink? What? Let me see. I'm not opening this door for myself. I'm opening it for all working men. I don't know why I'm opening this fucking door. I'm going with a wink, I think.
Polar weasel? Oh,
Oh lord.
I know what you mean.
I'm such a basic
I'm pretty
racist.
sure he's actually Occidental, though. So you're gonna be committing fratricide, my racist friend.
Turns out I'm a basic racist after all.
What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the wailing in rags. That's all I know. Our organization is what you call compartmentalized. Means we keep out of each other's business.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. What's it for? To feed our children, I guess.
I got distracted by the wink.
I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about the big picture stuff. Who I am, who you are, what we are fighting for.
He means he's not going to tell you cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everett. Who he is and what they're fighting for? This is interesting.
We're negotiating our share. Aye. This stuff, they already covered. The wolf always wants more. I like wolves. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of value and saying I want it all to myself is a much older and simpler notion. No science to it at all. Even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. I have nothing against communists. They are honorable boyaderos. And they have good analysis. But my own code serves me well. If my code starts failing, a code can fail a man as well as a man can fail a code, then I will have to submit to a new one, which may well be communism.
Oh, fair.
He knows who he is, firmly grounded, has no need to reinforce or elaborate his political identity to himself or others.
So don't pick this one. I guess I understand.
See, I am primarily a lazy person. I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer and a decent businessman. I guess you kind of get to be the village chief. He oversees the harbor, makes deals with the owners or other relevant parties, watches out for his own.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world, see? And in this world, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, not too lavish. He is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion.
He's not.
Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This guy. This guy.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Sure, I've had the necessary free time. Fortunately, there's always time.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. For him, having command of his time is the most important thing.
Oh, you and me both, call me mañana.
It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs, his general attitude. He's a follower of a 500-year-old Franco-Nigerian Boyadero code, itself an appropriation of Vespertine cool. That of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, independent in your actions, loyal to your friends.
Maybe I am a boyadero.
No,
What if?
no. The man sits on the railing, his hands reaching far and wide. Yet it feels as if he could, effortlessly, go even wider, if need be.
Damn.
An endless torrent of time.
There was another option I wanted to click. Don't remember what it was though.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. A bit too high-strung, but it comes with the responsibility. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. But really, they're just like you.
Okay. Hold on.
We're
let me run through this
negotiating our...
again
Aye.
real quick.
All of it.
This seditious talk sounds like communism.
Sure thing.
Oh,
This was great. You feel mentally reinvigorated.
save. Oh, thank you. Let's go, Kim. Let's see how mad this guy's gonna get now.
Right to work!
Oh, nothing. Coors Light is weak shit, not even the slightest buzz. Might as well be drinking tap water there, Jay. Alright. Let's go. Let's stop by the frittata. Pick up some health shit real quick. Muy importante.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, I don't think I have any bottles, do I?
Your bottles clunk into the machine,
Oh.
and the money appears with a satisfying jingle. You're a richer man now.
Woo! Alright. We need some stuff, ma'am.
Is this about the questions again?
Oh,
'Cause
that's
I
right.
don't really know anything.
We've got this giant paper check.
Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir.
We made it. We've got 60 real.
Anything else I can do for you?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash.
Oh, rhetoric.
That was easy. Worryingly so. Blow the whole thing on speed and gin right now. Speed and gin. Great combo. Ask some local dealers, maybe.
Shit. I thought you could buy stuff from this. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice
Fucking
bottles.
raincoats.
The raincoats are transparent.
Endurance might be nice, though. I thought I could buy stuff. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various
Saint Baptiste. You know, Saint Baptiste Pharmaceuticals. The one that sells meds out of Saint Baptiste.
She is right. Saint Baptiste, the company, derives its name from Saint Baptiste, the city. Itself so named because that's what it is. A rare case where that really is the full etymological history. As far as almost anyone knows, at least.
Okay, so I know we need a bottle of magnesium. That's for morale. And health would be nice. Ooh, that's expensive.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
I guess we don't really need the magnesium. I'll buy it.
Okay, here. I hope Saint Baptiste makes you feel better or something.
Okay. Why not? Why are you blinking at me? Okay. I was curious if we had something for magnesium, but I don't think that we do. I thought there was something that was like, oh, you should go get some magnesium as a quest, but maybe not. What time is it? 20:57. Okay, so we can very quickly here. We've got some options. Okay. The body here, the basement door, I think, also. And then the smoker. There's the body. Looking delicious as ever. Whoa. Okay, so where is this basement door? It must be this one. So that's actually around. Alright. Let's start here, I guess.
The corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. The victim is ready for a field autopsy.
What?
Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3. Field autopsy. 4. Transportation of the body to the morgue. We are on number 3.
Ugh.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene processing manual.
The fuck are they on about?
Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle
Oh?
the entire incident chain. From autopsy to cleanup, to social work, everything. An honor and a burden attached to your rank once you've proven yourself able, usually after 5 to 8 years of field work. Mine is Lieutenant Detective.
Interesting.
You are. Your station would not have assigned you on this case if you weren't.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single, Et puis descend, to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea. You must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
There truly is a time for everything, even for yellow gardening gloves. However, they are lacking hygienically. I suggest you get in there in limited capacity.
I agree. Well, actually.
I mean when I need you to.
Okay.
Until then, I should handle physical contact, and you should take notes.
Ooh, winning.
That's right.
Oh, achievement unlocked. Goodest of the good cops.
Yeah, we got this. We're smart.
We're smart. Tell me something, dead man.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Oh, he's got nothing. Bluffed.
Come back later, Corpo.
I don't
Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features. If possible, also, see me in your dreams.
I don't think Kim's gonna let me take his shoes off.
I thought we decided to leave it to processing.
Yeah.
Let's not turn this into some kind of circus.
Damn it. This is turning into some sort of mega puzzle. Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone asleep.
Okay.
The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists, describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with
Number 1.
That's you.
Harry Dubois.
the corpse is indifferent to your scribblings, just lies there. The next box says
KK57-0803.0815.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals Precinct 57, followed by his date 0803 and time of arrival 0815 on the scene. He's indexed the case after himself, not you.
We are pretty smart.
That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
That's fair.
And what would that make the alphanumeric? I do. KK57-0503-0815.
We do as Kim says.
Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Dry 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. He nods.
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Mwindi. This is as vague as it gets. You might as well say whitish. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither mondial nor anything other.
Fucky!
Oh boy.
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly and indistinguishable face.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 0815 listens motionless, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only one box remains.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wounds post-mortem.
I see.
They'd have to have incapacitated and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dogwalkers.
Your central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It's the stations of the breath. Ecclesiastic, religious in nature, a holdout from pre-DeLorean burial rites. It takes him 2 seconds to perform. Then,
We should start the post-mortem.
the corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. A thicket of boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See, it's
Oh
happening.
Lord, Kuno. Calm down.
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size M. Color white.
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid.
The boots are ceramic, vitreous enamel. They are fused to his skin from blood flowing downward post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
Processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
I don't know if I want to wear a dead man's shoes. No. That seems gross, and they're probably like plus 4 million horrible trait I don't want. So is that what that is? I thought I would come down here, take the shoes off, get some clues. Because what I want is clues. I don't want no shoes. I don't want no dead man's shoes. I'm just gonna... I'll write it down.
The boot has a serial number. It's E50.100.100. The lines between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. The number is purposefully concealed by the design. Tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single, continuous tattoo resembling a microelectronical circuit board. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case files as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigat Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow. Length 3 meters. There is a buckle on the other end. Well nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters. Generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good. Ambient temperature below freezing. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with the age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
I'm touching it.
The hair under your latex fingers feels cold to touch, wet.
We're gonna gently pat him.
The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to the latex of the glove, like thread off a rag doll's head.
Mistakes. Good thing I touched him gently. Male pattern baldness affects a lot of people.
There must be brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Oof, gross. Shall we keep patting him? We're gonna keep patting him.
More hair sticks to the glove. Hair off the rain-soaked head of a dead man.
Why are we
There
patting
are
him?
bumps and dips on the skull below. An alien landscape. For a fraction of a second you feel something. An irregularity. But then it's gone. Too minute to register in your mind. What was what? Brilliantine. There's brilliantine in his hair.
Didn't get a high enough roll. Okay. We're writing it down. We're adding the brilliantine.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs. Consistent with stones thrown post-mortem. Low velocity.
Cool now.
Fucking low velocity. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest. Consistent with predation.
We'll write down, but we will amend for high velocity.
Ligature mark.
He cuts into the polyester. Horrid stench. It's obvious the material cannot be cut.
Steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Pet the chain cutters.
The hanged man lets out a joyous little bubble of rot from his nose.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark below. Carefully, with as much precision as you can.
I don't know if I'm the right person for the job.
See, my pig is gonna fuck his head off.
Oh, I'm his pig now.
No, he ain't.
You pig's a boring fuck.
Fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the whole circumference of his neck, swelling over the edges like white bread rising from the yeast.
What a description.
The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit in there. Steady now. Like a flower arranger. 2 cuts and it should come loose.
Oh, thank God for interfacing.
After some deliberation, you sink the cutters into the knot tying the belt together. You squeeze the rubber handles together, sweat forming on your brow. Snap! The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower bouquet, revealing the dead man's neck and the dark red ligature mark around it.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck. Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters.
Ooh, he's real good at this autopsy shit.
Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia...
No! Let's get up and see!
I fucking knew it!
Guys.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
I would like to inspect the unremarkable genitals.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood. The testicles are uneven in length, hanging underneath. The genitalia is greenish. Marbling is present around the crotch.
Mistakes. We've made a mistake.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count, covering about 30% of his skin.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades, dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have a real museum here. Of battles, wars. Last item, hands.
His flesh is cold, icy.
Pleased to meet you.
Oh.
Where are you from and what's your name? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Corbo. What can I do you for, Il Corbo di Cappadocia?
Italian. I don't speak Italian. I'm trying to suss it out with Spanish. Did you like it when I stroked your hair?
I did, Kobo. I did. Reminded me of when I was just a small boy, before this happened to my face and my body. You did me a kindness there. We should do this more often. Be close like this, I mean.
No thanks.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, this stench is making it hard for me to think at the moment. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
The brain is very vulnerable to compromises in its blood supply.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer.
Oh, he grins. At least he grins.
Good. Musculoskeletal. Purge fluid is coming from the mouth. Not injury related. Eyes and tongue protuberant. Hyoid bone. Let's see.
Purge fluid.
With his eyes almost closed, the lieutenant puts his hand on the dead man's throat and begins to massage it, gently. A rotting smell erupts from the mouth. Purge fluid runs down his lips, black and viscous. You hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh. like the creaking of an old house at night.
I didn't need that. I didn't need that perception.
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
Bro.
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen. Hemorrhaging present in mucosa of the lips and mouth.
And we know this is wrong. We're gonna look in the fucking dead man's mouth anyway.
No scream. No sigh of relief rises from the darkness inside. It's humid there. Sickly sweet air, unlike anything living. You feel like you're about to throw up again. Straight in that mouth of his.
Oh, let's keep going.
It's hard. Once more, you taste
fuck.
stomach acid in the back of your throat. A contraction. Your throat pumps a little something from your stomach and into your mouth. You're forced to swallow, just to keep looking. Inside, you see darkness. Just a mess of meat and darkness.
Why did I do this?
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me later.
Okay.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus.
We're gonna have to come back to the body and ask it stuff.
Hepatobiliary. NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert?
Hepato means liver, and biliary, the gallbladder and bile ducts.
Am I an expert?
Nothing in your alcohol-soaked memory directs to having forensic expertise on either one.
Neither am I. That's it. Same for toxicology and serology, unless you have untapped reservoirs of knowledge there.
Reservoirs? No, but do they take obscure trivia and odd tidbits?
No. Like a toxicology screening? At this stage, I doubt processing will find anything, even if he was brimming with cocaine. But still, you should add a request.
Why would he look? Why does it say he looks at the monster? That's mean.
Brimming with cocaine.
Okay, electrochemistry.
Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with the hanging. Gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila.
Keeping the voila.
What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on the head and chest, and a ligature mark encircling the neck. You'll need 3 fields. Leave a 4th one too.
Be thorough if you want maximum results.
Ooh, okay, reaction speed.
Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. Odontologist does not need to be consulted. And your opinion, officer?
It was a fatal injury. Or wait, the birds. We're talking about the birds. Head, chest, and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. I'm guessing these are non-fatal post-mortem?
Agreed.
Okay.
Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response. The perpetrator on the scene has confessed to causing it post-mortem.
Okay.
At maximum velocity, fucko!
I wrote it, Kuno.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum velocity.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the dead man. Beneath, the description of injury. 2 boxes.
Non-fatal, a post-mortem.
Right. Next. A dark red abraded ligature mark encircling the neck, with a gap on the nape measuring, let's say, 7 centimeters. The hyoid bone is fractured, the cervical column intact. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. Depth of the mark, 1 centimeter. No signs of clawing on the neck.
Interesting.
Below the note, 2 customary boxes wait to be ticked. The man's head jerks to the side. The ring around his neck is visible.
Visible ring.
Think for a moment. There's time. Don't rush.
Non-fatal. Post-mortem. That is what I want to say. Let's see. No signs of clawing, so he wasn't struggling. I'm pretty sure his hands weren't tied. Hemorrhaging is probably because the blood stopped flowing, but it could also just be because of choking. And then, of course, the ring around the neck. But that could just be because he's been hanging out. I do think it's non-fatal post-mortem, though, just because there's no signs of clawing. And I think we had talked about it earlier, that he was definitely dead before they hung him on the tree, because that would have been really hard to do with a live person of his size. So, non-fatal, post-mortem. Fuck.
Why do you say that?
I'm serious. I don't think this was the injury that killed him.
Okay. Why don't you think it was fatal?
I arrived at this conclusion through the psychic cards. Let's see, why weren't his hands tied?
Honestly, I'm not sure there weren't marks on his wrist. That part got blurry for me. The stench. But you are right, I was ready to call this. Now I think we should leave it empty, at least for the time being.
Fuck.
Let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over.
Boom, we got 2 skills.
It was an irregular field autopsy. We did not establish cause of death, which is supposed to be the goal of an autopsy. But, personally, I do not see this as a parameter for success.
Agreed.
We also requested a toxicological screening. That was thorough. The results should arrive in a couple of weeks, if we are lucky. I will not hold my breath. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in detail. What is there to say? Given the circumstances, it was a professional field autopsy.
Oh yeah, well done, Master Detective. Maybe a drink is in order?
No, we got shit to do.
I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg.
Right now, I need those fucking boats.
For processing.
You tilt your head, also looking at the corpse. I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something.
Stop wasting time, you're smart. Didn't establish probable cause. Felt a little bump on the head. %. Perception. Can't change my clothes. It says I can retry it though. If I leave, can I come back? Because then I can check my stuff. Okay, one moment please. Perception. Looking for perception. Nope. Don't got shit. Alright, I do have 2 points. Where's perception? Oh, I really thought it would be here. Let's see. Okay, it's in motorics. I mean, we could level this up. I want to leave a skill point for this shit. Because, damn, we haven't done thoughts in a while. So, if I put a skill in this, then I can't put another skill in anywhere else for now. That's okay. I like perception. Let's do that. Bling. Alright. Safe.
The man is decomposing visibly now. Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines.
Delicious.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Okay. Aquí vamos. Since it's a white check, might have been to try, possibly fail. Yeah, I thought about that. Wouldn't that have been the smart fucking thing? Well, I do have that other skill point, so...
You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organs. Maybe you should be more thorough. The genitals in his breeches continue to be unnoticed.
Can't get enough of that dick.
Do you think we missed something?
You can't shake the feeling that there are more secrets concealed in the flesh before you.
Okay, well, we are in livor mortis here. He is disintegrating. We need to refrigerate the body if we want to conduct another examination, and we need to do it fast. Hey, wasn't there a giant ice bear sarcophagus below that building?
Yes.
Now, that's an overstatement. It's not actually for storing cadavers, or at least I hope so. I think we should take a look at it first. Make sure it's big enough before we carry him over. Let's move. With every hour, whatever we are looking for in the deceased will become harder to find.
Okay. Real quick then. Shit, where's that building? It's in here. Okay. I need to catch the smoker though. It's pretty late. Let's see. Giant bear fridge.
The bear's eyes are dead and empty.
It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it's more than big enough and cold enough. Honestly, it's perfect. All we have to do is plug the fridge back in.
Okay. Can do.
Both cables are unplugged from the breaker box. Somewhere, a machine hums along with the current. A giant electric mammal awakens. The dead body is going to be safe in the embrace of its cold innards.
Great. The owners of this building will just have to keep paying for the electricity sucked up by this monstrosity a little longer. Let's return to the fridge.
I could probably unplug the black cable too.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red, watching over all the ice cream wrappers hidden inside its belly.
Of course. I'll take the head, you take the feet.
Fantastic.
It's not going to be the easiest thing in the world, but we'll manage.
The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get the butcher, then 10 more minutes to stuff it into the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork.
Wow, we did a great job. 10 out of fucking 10. Jesus.
Beautiful. A dead body in a nice bare fridge. This is some of the best police work I've ever done.
You have created an ice bear sarcophagus.
Indeed. Behold!
Talk of the ice bear sarcophagus must not leave this room.
It's art.
If I were an artist, this would certainly not be my vision. I would be much, much more conservative in my work.
He's right. His work would be much more formal.
At least we've stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances.
Inside the icy realm of the ice bear fridge, the corpse stands slumped, waiting.
Okay. We can do it. But I hope he doesn't take the fucking body away. So what are we gonna do here? We can try to like go to bed, come back for the choose, and then do the perception check tomorrow. Or we can do the perception check now. Let's consider our options.
Why does art inspire you so much? Excellent question. Art is a diverse range of visual, literary, auditory, and performative creativity. It's an expression of imagination and technical skill. Additionally, its history criticism, and pure enjoyment.
Why can't it be for everyone, including arrogant blowhards?
In short, art is the highest form of human communication, representation, narrative, emotion, and agency intertwined. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You have the exact features of a savage art critic, with that beard and those clothes, disheveled and prophetic. Perhaps you should try to critique architecture too.
Why not?
Yes, you seek substance. No vapid representations and reproductions of social mores as made manifest in stuffy biennials. We're talking real, living art here. Become the art cop. Half art critic, half cop.
Yes, sure, why not? I'll be a fucking art cop.
Exactly. It's not only your duty to only catch the criminals off the street, you must also apprehend criminals of the printing press and the gallery, the trite and derivative artists and writers of the world. Go ahead and provide savage criticisms, art cop. The world is yours to rip to pieces and reassemble.
Alright, we're putting a skill point here. Because I definitely want to do actual art degree. -1 perception. Can't even look at this shit. Fuck! Alright, we're gonna do the other thing first. And then we're gonna do that. Alright. Let me see. Once you're done with it. Check twice to see whether you're done with everything. Once you send it. Okay. You definitely want to choose them. We need to get him to bed. But first, let's go this way. We are going to... Wait, do I want to go this way? No. Find the smoker who's hopefully still smoking. Or at least awake in their house. Let's see. Can't even look at his shit. Jared's art school professors when critiquing his work. I'm Mr. J. Don't you be lying, bruh. Alright. Run, mofo, let's go. Did we find our badge? I don't think we did. Alright, who am I looking for? What am I looking for? Oh, the smoker guy. Fuck, I went the wrong way. Or can I go this way? Yes, I can go this way. Can't believe it's been an hour. How? Time flies when you're having fun. Let's see here. I believe it's over here. You hear distant traffic? Night is falling on the city. A maroon glow of light pollution rises from the east. Amazing. The smoker! Hello, sir. Of course I thought about
Gendarmerie, you found me.
I did.
His slender figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. And his shirt is still unbuttoned.
Bro, electrochemistry, calm down.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again? Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight.
Oh.
I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting.
Suspicious.
Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up one by one. Downstairs, a cat crosses the yard, disappearing into the bush.
A magic cat.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
Oh, Inland Empire.
Something tells you you're never going to talk to an individual this cool or mysterious ever again.
Am I going to be dramatic? I'm going to be dramatic.
Don't worry, we'll meet again. Come find me in the bar of the Whirling some evening.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words.
We'll talk. Just not tonight.
Okay. Okay.
Take care, alright?
You too. Whoa, damn, we level fast. We're finishing shit left and right.
And he's gone again. Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
He's always leaving. Why is he always leaving, Kim?
Who knows, detective? It's a mystery. Different, of course.
His shirt. Why is his shirt always unbuttoned? There's just something so mysterious about the way he talks and moves.
Something so mysterious about the way he talks.
The lieutenant squints his eyes, trying to hold back laughter. Very mysterious.
Very.
He's barely holding it together. It's all he can do to keep from bursting out in laughter.
Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Your gaydar is so broken that Kim can hardly handle it. I almost thought that Kim was maybe giggling because I was into the guy. But maybe not. Alright, let's go. Ooh, there's a lot of stuff to see here. This is his Sunday friend, huh? His Sunday friend. It makes sense. Governmental issues take me all over Revachol, as you can see. +1 logic! Comical hat, that's fun. An exquisite canopy made of metal. Dishes soaked up in a pot. An empty ashtray. Flyers for underground parties. Dates for open lectures at a local university. You know what? This is a nice apartment for the area, not gonna lie. What's this? Oh, Party Dragons. Party Dragons Silk Robe. Plus drama and plus electrochemistry. Don't love electrochemistry, but... well, I kind of love electrochemistry. In like a bad way. Expensive men's perfume lingers in the air. In a wider sense, this is actually my apartment. And yours. Okay. An old photo of the same apartment, dated year 01. Oh. That's an old-ass picture. Buckets of paint on a layer of old newspapers. Interesting. Alright. Time for the chit-chat.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
His hands are clean and well manicured. This is a man who knows the importance of appearances.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé.
Okay.
I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
Okay.
Hanging? What a drag. He seems like a cultured gentleman. You should ask him about the finer things.
Okay.
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. It's warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's ménage decided to emigrate. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Peninsula. Oil platforms ablaze in the night. Civil wars lasting for years. Finally, the international community is forced to step in. One of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
This man could not be any more French.
There's a joke here, and you know what it is.
Yeah, I'm what they call a master baiter.
Oh, how wonderful. I've heard it's oodles of fun. Not that I have time to take up new hobbies myself.
The lieutenant lets out a long, nasal sigh.
I love bugging the shit out of him.
Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
No kitchen.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
One moment.
I'm just enjoying. We're old friends. Nothing's taboo between us. He comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's very active.
Very active. Starting to think our busy bee is a sex worker.
I'm all ears, officer.
Let's see.
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Because I did it?
He's clearly not a man accustomed to being spoken to in that manner, let alone to being accused of murder.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one.
What?
That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
Guess that makes me rather expressive.
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That is pretty specific.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell. I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything. You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
Uh-huh.
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for.
No.
I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM. The Coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here. Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stability. This is...
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. It is the most important thing. It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment.
So this guy's a capitalist.
Which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Well, it's not quite.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much
He's
deflation,
an
it
economist
becomes too cheap for bakers to produce.
with a capitalist flair.
That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, the coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Yes. Yes, I would.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
It feels very transparent so far.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Babies.
Doing one's job doesn't automatically make one anyone's bitch. Besides, there are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
But of course. Well, do you value freedom? Do you believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values?
Me?
You've managed to catch the lieutenant off guard, but only for a moment. He quickly recomposes himself.
I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in Revachol.
A very moralist answer. The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, Sur-la-Clé, Martinez? No. Martinez is something else. Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Feels like every time I'm talking to people, I'm choosing option D, none of the above. Is that moralism?
Of course, the detective's personal views do not represent the views of the RCM.
Ah, my friend. But the lesson of the revolution is that communism does not work. Oh, yes, the big bad coalition crushed the revolution. Tell me, if the revolution was succeeding, would it have been crushed so easily? Are we really so bad for wanting compromise, peace, and prosperity on reasonable, achievable terms? Ask yourself that. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Jamrock and other parts of the international zone have been mercifully spared of Sur-la-Clé's love for meatballs and mashed potatoes.
Hello. Hi, oyster sauce. What's up? You in class?
Oranje is an exemplary nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget.
Nice.
Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
You streaming tonight?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions. Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
Many sleeps.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
Nope. Maybe streaming. Okay, I'll keep an eye out.
About what? Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
The Arthur fist got me, man.
Whatever you wish, officer. A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
He'll be back on Sunday.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space.
All right. We outie. 'Tis bedtime. I'm gonna get them shoes. Let's get some shoes. Let's get some shoes. I don't know if anybody recognizes that. Is it let's get some shoes or is it let's buy some shoes? I don't know, it's been 100 years. Oh, yep, let's bust open this door too, actually, while we're here.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp. You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
I guess no one is in? Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself.
Good answer, Kim.
Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it.
Perfect.
On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrard we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this. Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door. I don't know. You're a pretty good liar. Are you as good an infiltrator as you are a liar?
I am a pretty good liar. There could be stuff in there. And I love stuff. Hold on. Quick save.
The door to the Weasel's den, guarded by the Lionhead Knocker. Both have seen better days.
Just want to see the stuff. I just want to see what kind of stuff's in there.
You try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. Thoughts race through your head. The sound of the key turning still echoes in the yard. Hopefully no one heard. There's nothing else to do than to leave and tell Evrard. No conceivable reason for you to intrude on the premises. There might be important information in the apartment. I mean, there might.
I agree, Logic.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Savoir-faire. Oops, I tripped. I tripped straight into this door I unlocked. Don't mind if I do. Small suitcase full of clothes. Guests staying over. A book titled The Hidden World of Walking Sticks. Oh man. I hope this isn't that lady's apartment. I don't think it is. You can almost feel the warmth of the red sun on the flag.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
Whoever lives here admires fair-haired fantasy heroes with big muscles. Interesting.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A broad-shouldered man shoveling potatoes, and others. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. No one's telling you to like him. You might learn something from him, though. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
So many racists in this game.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash, and now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
Ooh.
Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Perhaps.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Indeed.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
The smell of disinfectant in the room smells like chemicals. Excellent. I think I already looked at this. Oh, nice. I always travel with drugs in my bag too. Just kidding. That's a joke. FBI. Alright. Where to next? Bedtime? Let's see. Go to bed. We'll take the shoes. We have so much stuff. Let me see. How many points we got? We have 1 skill point. We have this new kimono. It's beautiful. We look beautiful. 10 out of 10. Especially with this mesh tank top. Let's hang out. Conical hat. +1 logic. My god. Another +1 logic. Oh my god. Conceptualization might be nice. The thing that makes this game feel real isn't just that it mirrors real geopolitics, but that it also depicts people and all their weird idiosyncrasies and biases in a way that feels real. Like, I've definitely met people like these before. They feel real in a sense. Yeah, I agree. That is a good insight there. You rolled high on that skill check, Jay. Let's see. I just want to wear a kimono. No reason. We open the door. We have a new thought. It's going to be Jamrock Shuffle. And this one. We gotta wait though. We must wait. Let's go. We're extra offensive now. With our conical hat and kimono. Okay. Bedtime. Bedtime. I'm gonna get them choose. Are they still here? No. Okay. There's a lot more people in here now, though. Okay. Oh, I better pay this guy first, I guess.
Can I help you?
Yes.
Got the 20 real?
That's right, it's just 20.
The breath catches in his chest. The light in his eyes snuffs out all at once. After a moment, he speaks.
Do you have money tonight?
Yes.
Then you really don't need a free room, do you?
Yes.
Here comes a layup, sire. Fall not for it.
But you know what? You're in luck, because you don't have to ever pay me again.
Oh my god, he's kicking me out.
Not at all, officer. It's true. You don't have to pay me anything. You don't have to give me any money at all. If you want a room, yes, you'll need to pay me, but you don't have to just give me money. Giving me money for a room is your choice. You want a free place to sleep? Fine. You've already unlocked your new room. The trash container outside is ready and waiting.
Wow.
The lieutenant is painfully silent.
Kim, what the fuck?
A new dimension of reality will open. A portal is this bed of waste. sleep there and awaken elsewhere.
What?
It is not clear. All that is known is sleep in the trash and there is no coming back.
Alright, we don't want to sleep in the trash.
I don't care what you do. Sleep in the trash or pay for a room. I don't care anymore.
Well, alright.
That wasn't so hard, was it? The room is yours for the night. Don't forget, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Okay, I forgot. It was just 60 for the first day. I hassled it down to 60 because I destroyed the room, and then 20 every other day. So, we're good for another 2 days. Muy bueno. Alright. Off we go. Did we just get a quest to sleep in the trash can? Oh no, it's just a done one. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Will this open?
The door is closed.
No. Okay. Alright, well, you know, good night, Kim. It's
Yes?
bedtime. Oh, I want this to be higher. Bro, are you gonna go to bed? See you in the morning. Bye. Peace out. We're leaving, we're getting the shoes. Oh, we gotta go talk to that old lady. Wonder if we can do all of that before we, like, pass out. Let's see. I don't know if this has a Stardew Valley logic. It's pretty much midnight. We can be fine if we go to bed by, like, 1. Okay, we need to get back into the fridge. Wait, what? Oh my god, don't tell me this place is closed. Okay, no. Here we go. I got it. Hello, bear fridge.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly.
Gross. First,
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
how do you like it in the fridge?
I like it a lot, brother. This really is your finest hour. You're a genius. A regular Corporangelo.
Thought he would love being in the bear fridge.
Oh yes, Kobo mi Lobo. In the gift horse's mouth. Tracts and wakes and waterways. Ancient materials buried.
Really hope it's not the butt where we're going.
Just a small gulp away. My beloved Kobo. A small gulp away.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
Come back later, Kobo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my
Lunchtime.
The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge.
Left boot.
It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two.
Right boot.
It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening.
Gross.
He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes.
Oof.
This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh.
Disgust.
Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, these absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible. Didn't the Whirling have a kitchen?
Yes, that's a great place to wash dead people's shoes. Alright then. We got a pair of shoes. Let's see, any clues though?
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon. The size seems about right. Once you get the foul-smelling flesh gunk out, you've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know what it was like to be him.
Okay, good to know. What's up? Got some new stuff. Getting the hangman's boots. We gotta wash them in the kitchen. Alright, and then we're gonna go to bed. Figuratively and maybe literally. Oh, buy a book. Oh my god. Reading a book passes time quickly. That's what we should have done last time. Oh, wait. Let me go talk to the lady real quick. Let me see, lady, where you at? There's a creepy lady in one of these corners somewhere. Hello. Actually, she's a little creepy, so it's safe. Okay.
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands. In the background, the radio plays. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. Nothing. Her smile just keeps widening. Her hair is gray like lead.
Alright, I had to try. Kim wouldn't let me bother her earlier, so... Run, little Harry. Run. I look good in this kimono. He's got some swag. Alright, bedtime. Bedtime for realsies. Oh, to the kitchen actually. JK. Oh, bucket.
This industrial gas-powered stove has been used to prepare food for many hungry hostel guests. There are several pots and pans on hand. Getting the corpse residue out of these boots is going to require patience, and also a huge pot full of boiling water, soap, and white vinegar. A commercial pot draws your attention. It's very large, gigantic even. It could be used to make enough stew to feed an entire city, and also to boil a putrid pair of death boots. There is a variety of soaps and bleaches in the cabinet to the left of the stove. There is also a bottle of white vinegar in the cabinet next to the fridge. It's bad with those boots. Don't be stingy now.
Let's see. Soap and white vinegar. Come on. Is there any weird, like, chemical issue with soap and vinegar? I don't think so.
The delicious smells of cheap soap and vinegar waft up from the pot. All right now, chef. Light up the stove and boil them.
Gross.
The strong smell of vinegar forces you to step away from the pot. The water slowly comes to a boil. Strips of polymer fabric and human tissue separate from the lining of the boots. They float to the bubbling surface. The boots look cleaner and cleaner. Those bits of human flesh are beginning to look cooked. You can smell it too, just like beef stew.
Disgusting.
That's it, chef. The boots are as clean as they're going to get. Steam, dense with the smell of strange meat, disappears into the vent above the stove.
Oh.
A pair of real beauties. The boots are shiny, hot, and reek of vinegar. Just perfect.
Master Chef out. Let's put our new shoes on. +2 authority, -1 composure. Compared to +1 composure, -1 savoir-faire. Oh yes, this is a fucking outfit for sure. I don't know if I care for these shoes. I think I might sell them. Oh, that's pretty immoral. But I bet I could get a lot of money. And I like money. Alright, I'll think on the shoes. Bed. Another beautiful bed. Looking very comfortable, as usual. I'm just gonna leave the door open like a
The
maniac.
bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Bedtime.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bird. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Limbic system.
You're not cooperating, brother man.
That's what I call my brother. Brother man.
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately.
I haven't drank that much recently.
But this suffering, it must have some kind of meaning. A story that will come out of it. Perhaps even a story that you will write yourself.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking. I'm an artist, and liver damage is my art.
Oh yeah, baby. Frame your suffering as a masterpiece. Only one problem. No one's watching. It's boring, buddy. Boring as death.
I'm watching.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that? Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't
So
they?
friendly. The friendliest.
At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
I pretend to sleep sometimes.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Put on your prettiest face for the masses.
Here we are, looking beautiful. Let's go, bud. Do we need a clothes change? Ah. Alright. Guillaume is already waiting for me downstairs. Monsieur.
Yes?
Still I will get that. I will convince Kim there's a sexy dark mystery twist in the case. I guarantee you. Hey. Oh. I'm falling asleep.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you Lizzie?
I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries. and focusing on why you are actually here. Titus Hardy.
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her eyes, in the way she stands, in her face.
No. Talk to Titus.
Shit.
What you want is of no significance, officer.
Buffed. Okay. I'll be back to this. First things first. Our body in the fridge. Totally a normal thing to say.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red.
Perception.
It's guarding over the freezing. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, dead flesh through the latex glove. It's right under the palm of your hand.
Excellent.
His face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a rubber spider, your gloved hand crawls on his features. Everything is silent, all around.
Pretty sure it's in his mouth.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider. You pick it between your fingers. The mass feels large, very porous somehow. Keep crawling, lest you break it.
Mouth it is.
The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop.
Ugh.
You're on the right track.
Excellent. Let's feel it out.
The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, fragile, even through the latex. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from his throat. And there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Fuck yeah.
Keep going.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brain stem. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
Yes.
The funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever. Your yellow fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. This is what he used to regulate his emotions with. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
I almost feel like they hired Chuck Palahniuk or whatever his name is to write these freaking descriptions.
Ice cold serrated metal. Its edges cut right through the latex and into your finger.
Palahniuk. Nope. I know how to write it. Can't say it. Alright. Here we go. Well, let's inspect it first.
There's a tiny crack. A protrusion in the cranium. Right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it. From the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium. This is the irregularity you felt before. The one that was too tiny to register consciously.
Interesting. Encephalus.
We have the makings of a very small exit wound here.
97%. If I fail this, I'm deleting this game. I'm quitting. Okay. Hello? Oh, he's working on it. Okay.
You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp, like metal.
Oof.
With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
Good, good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop,
nice.
Your hand emerges from the mouth. The garden glove is covered in blood right up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower. A blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
Nice.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. No, you deserve it. We can log it later.
My man was chosen.
We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion color. Soft palate, back of mouth. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion?
Max
Fatal
velocity.
injury.
Goddamn right.
We have extensive tissue destruction away
Alright.
from the wound track.
I had to do it.
We have a bullet. And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem. Treatment.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes.
Treatment, officer, is an attempt to manipulate the body after death, to hide the real cause with a false cause. In this case, this injury here. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead. Dabba dabba doop doop.
Dead.
Okay.
I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There is no satisfactory explanation.
Makes sense.
There have been other signs too. Small things.
Secret task.
We were right not to assign hanging as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
We're smart. We're smart detectives.
There is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
True story.
To put him out of his misery? It's possible, but it does not explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle, primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time. And this just smacks of treatment to me. That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
Someday.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us
This little thing could reveal much about the weapon that shot it.
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
Should have made that call first. I thought about it.
Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup in a neighborhood like this. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing. Great work, detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
Okay. One moment. One moment, sir. Let me get to that phone real quick. In the kinema. Oh dang, you could be Kim free for a day. I know. What the fuck are we gonna do with ourselves?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Alright.
Sorry, sir. I still haven't heard back from the database people. Try calling again later. Is there anything else I can do for you?
You know what?
Just a second, officer.
Why not?
Sylvie Malaika on the line for you, officer. Yes. Hello? Oh, great. What else do you need, detective? Well, you tried to jam it down the toilet, sir, clogging it completely.
What?
After I had unclogged the toilet and retrieved the paperwork, I threw it out in the trash, thinking you didn't need it. I am sorry about that. Anything else, detective? Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun, detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating, and...
Embarrassing.
You were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Yep, that seems pretty in character.
Oh, those again. I have been trying to wean you off them. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that.
Very dramatic.
I remember this. You were screaming things like, "My brains are all over the wall, painting them red. I won't be seeing it, 'cause these are my brains. I can't see without my brains." Very nice visuals there.
Amazing.
There is silence on the other end of the line.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things like, "Big bucks cannot lie," and "Guns can't buy money, but money can always buy guns."
Fantastic.
It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio, and then the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
No. Yeah, definitely not.
57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll have Kim take the body away then. I went the wrong way. This fridge came in quite handy.
The bear's eyes are still.
All right.
Here we go.
I will need a little help carrying him. You take the hands, I'll take the legs.
My boy, my buddy. He's gone. R.I.P. Oh boy, I can really zoom out. Let's go back in a bit more. This is good. Alright, with that, I'm going to be leaving our very interestingly clothed detective here for the evening. And I will be back on Monday. we got a lot done today. Very productive. It's funny to talk about productivity in a game about capitalism a little. Okay, well, back on Monday, folks. Thank you so much for popping in. Jay, you're so awesome. Oyster sauce, I'm glad you survived class. And everybody else who's on the call. On the call. Oh boy, that's how you know I'm stuck in workspace. Thanks for joining, y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your week. See you Monday. Bye.